shot through the car. Oh.
Oh, yes, please.
Can you step outside so I can do it?
All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Officer Duncan Reacts. I'm DeMarcus. That right there is former Officer Corey Duncan. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty good, man. It's good to see you again.
Good
So,
to see you.
what are we getting into today? I think we got a couple of videos for you guys. I think the first one is a police chase. So, kind of set this one up for us.
So today we're talking about the incident that happened in Atlanta, Georgia, with a transit bus that was hijacked and forced to drive, and eventually the police was able to stop it.
Gotcha. And this was I think pretty recently, right?
This was this past week, actually.
Gotcha.
The suspect, or the alleged hijacker, was identified as Joseph Greer, who had 19 prior felonies. The bus driver was identified as Antoine, and then the person that attempted to stop Mr. Greer, who unfortunately got killed in the incident by his own gun, was Ernest Bird.
Okay. Terrible. All right, let's see how it goes.
Stories tonight at 6. First, a Gwinnett County transit bus leads police on a chase from Atlanta to DeKalb County through Gwinnett. We know at least one person is in custody right now. Good evening. I'm Russ Smith.
I'm Courtney Bryant. It all started when Atlanta police officers were called about a dispute on the bus. Fox 5 anchor Tom Haynes joins us live now to talk about what happened next. Tom.
All right, guys, a lot of information to sort through here. When police showed up to investigate that dispute, the bus took off and sped up I-85 north and then led police on a long chase before coming to a stop in DeKalb County. This is a live look at Hugh Howell near Rosser Road where that chase ended. You can see the police activity, fire rescue there on the scene. Officers still trying to figure out why the bus took off. This all started when Atlanta police got called to Ivan Allen Boulevard about a dispute on that bus. The bus then took off. It headed up I-85, as we mentioned. Officers forced the bus off of the Jimmy Carter exit. And that's when the bus hit multiple police cars and at least one innocent driver.
I imagine it's not easy to stop those buses too. I mean, you kind of have a lot of things to factor in, like people on board, and it's not a light vehicle; it's a pretty heavy vehicle. So, how would you try and go about stopping something like that?
Some of the ways that they would possibly try to stop a bus, because it's so big and it weighs much more than an average 3,500-pound police car or a police SUV, is spike strips. That would be one way to hopefully attempt to stop it. Another way would be to somehow disable the tires if the spike strips are ineffective because of the weight of the bus.
Gotcha. And because, I mean, now, correct me if I'm wrong, the spike strips won't necessarily make the bus just go completely out of control immediately, right?
No, so the purpose of the spike strips is not to flatten tires immediately. It flattens the tires over time, and it slowly releases the air from the tires.
Gotcha. Probably just to make sure to not prevent that kind of situation of the car just going out of control and hitting other people and things like that.
Correct.
Can you imagine being on the highway watching all of this unfold, wondering why this bus is on the run? The bus continued down Jimmy Carter Boulevard onto Mountain Industrial Boulevard with more than a dozen police cars right behind it. It finally turned onto Hugh Howell, came to a stop near Rosser Road, and then just moments after the bus stopped, a number of people got off the bus, some with their hands in the air. SWAT teams went onto the bus. They blocked it with one of their SWAT vehicles. You see that suspect being led to a police cruiser there. Atlanta police confirmed that the officers detained that suspect. So far, no word on who the person is.
Man, that's a crazy, awful, event altogether. Would you say that maybe that's kind of like a precautionary tale? I mean, I hate what happened to the guy, but would that be sort of like a precautionary tale as to like just because you're armed doesn't mean you necessarily involve yourself in another situation that's going on?
Yes, I would say that, or I would say that if you're going to pull your firearm, then you better be willing to use your firearm,
Right, right,
especially in an incident like this.
right. So, what kind of charges is that guy, the suspect in the situation? What are we all looking at here? When you look at that totality of that video, what all are we looking at in terms of what that guy might get charged for?
So aggravated kidnapping, because he had a weapon, uh, murder. Not only that, but so aggravated kidnapping, murder, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, times how many people was on that bus, aggravated kidnapping, times how many people was on that bus, or they can just lump it. In the state of Texas, they can lump it all in one, which would be capital murder. Committing a felony during the course of committing a felony, a person dying.
Gotcha.
So they can lump all those charges into one if they wanted to, or charge them each individually.
Would there be? Can you think of any advantages to doing one or the other? Would that make the outcome any different?
It would probably make the outcome different during the sentencing phase, but life in prison is life in prison. So when they stack all those charges on them, it's still going to probably give them life in prison.
Right. But I think you told me once before that like the lesser charge, you like they may not even try and stick in with the lesser charges because they've got the bigger ones.
Right.
Right.
So they're charging with the bigger crimes first, and then if they have to bump them down to a lesser charge, then they'll do the lesser charge. But right
Right.
now they're trying to get all the major charges.
Right. And so there's a chance that him running into the vehicles, like the civilian vehicles and things like that, there's a chance he might not even get charged with that.
Correct.
Okay. And then obviously, what you were saying something about the bus driver. How does what liability does the bus driver? I'm assuming nothing, right?
So the bus driver should not have a liability because he was operating under duress.
Right.
So because the guy had a gun to us, that's the reason why he was driving the way he was driving. Correct.
I wonder about but I wonder about in civil court. Like if you own a car that was hit by that bus and the suspect was not charged with it, but the vehicle still got to get fixed, in civil court, who I wonder who you could go after.
Well, you'll probably end up going after your own insurance company because their insurance, the bus insurance company, is probably going to deny the claim. So you would have to go through your own insurance company, and they would have to try to recoup the money from, I guess, the bus insurance, if possible. But it's more than likely you're going to have to file it under your own insurance.
Gotcha.
And hopefully you have uninsured motorist protection.
Wow. The next video I think we have now, this is a how you know you chose the wrong profession kind of video.
Exactly.
So let's see. Before we hit play, let's just kind of let everybody know the setup of this. First off, good.
So this incident happened out of the state of Florida, where deputies were called for a disturbance call. They found the suspect, who was alleged to have failed to give back his girlfriend's car. Is the
Gotcha.
disturbance call that
they're there. Gotcha.
The girlfriend alleged that he had sent her a picture with him pointing a gun at the car and refusing to give the car back. They detained the guy because he walked up on the scene. They detained him. They put him in the back of one of the squad cars, and the
And then
officer.
that's where we're gonna let the video pick up for right there. Then we'll come back and kind of uh summarize a little bit.
All right.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! You know. I'm hit! I'm hit! What? I'm not! In the car! I was shot through the car! Oh!
Do you know your tag number off the top of your head? Okay, it's okay.
Now this is the girlfriend, right?
That's correct.
What? What? Oh! Where? Right there? Jesse! Jesse, are you okay? Get in the house! Get in the house! Jesse! Get back! Get back! Where is he? Where is he?
In the car!
43, give me traffic. Shots fired. Shots fired. I got a deputy down. Jesse, how are you? Okay. Get back!
Okay, so let's let everybody. What is that information they're telling everybody, Corey? This is what I think you were about to get into.
So the Acorn fell and struck the top of the police vehicle, and that's what the officer heard. They searched the suspect multiple times before placing him inside the police patrol vehicle. So he did not have a weapon on him, and the officer thought that the fallen Acorn was a gunshot and overreacted by shooting into the vehicle multiple times, along with thinking that he had been struck by gunfire.
Well, let me make sure I let everybody know the suspect in this situation, fortunately and thankfully, was not killed or harmed by what happened here. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. But that's the one positive thing that comes out of the situation, that he ended up being okay. Now, how you react to an Acorn hitting the top of a car, what I want to know is, how did he think he was hit personally?
That is a great question, and I would love to know that answer too.
Right. It's one thing to think you got shot at, but then he said, I'm hit. So,
and if I said the suspect, I meant the officer was the one shooting, not the suspect.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Get back! Get back! I'm not gonna tell you go! Get back! Get back! Get her! Get her! Get her back now! No!
Yeah. Do you see anything on my vest? What are you feeling? Did you feel anything? My legs went numb when it hit me. All right. I don't know. My legs went numb for a second. I heard a pop come from.
Go this way. Can you move?
Yeah.
So, quick question, Corey. So the suspect is not here. I want to go back to the vehicle right quick. Put the viewer in the side of the vehicle. How might it happen that the suspect was fortunate enough to not get hit? Do you think maybe he was able to duck down or something like that? Is it the material that the vehicle's made out of, something like that?
The only possible thing that I could think of, based on where the officer was shooting to, was hopefully that the suspect wasn't on that side that he was shooting at, and also that the suspect was able to manage to duck down inside the vehicle.
Gotcha. Because, like we said on other videos, the glass on the police vehicle is not any different from any other vehicle.
Correct. And if you notice that the officer was shooting towards the driver's side of the vehicle, normally you would put a suspect on the passenger side so that you can see him see him or her while you're driving, you don't want anybody directly behind you as an officer. That's an officer safety issue when you're transporting somebody.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
I heard a pop come from.
Go this way. Can you move?
Yeah. I got you, buddy.
Okay, that was crazy. That was insane, Mr. Duncan. So okay, so had that try to put your. I mean, I know departments are different. How do you think things were handled after that? What would normally happen after something like that happened, with specifically with that officer? Given the fact that they knew after the investigation, you know.
So with that officer, if you're involved in an officer-involved shooting, you're going to be on paid administrative leave. They're going to do an investigation, and pending the outcome of that investigation, some officers can get charged with a crime. Some officers don't get charged with a crime. Some are justified, some are not justified. So it just depends on the course of that investigation. With this officer, he resigned during the course of the investigation.
Gotcha. All right. Well, two pretty interesting videos. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, so if y'all like this video, like, share, and subscribe to our wonderful YouTube channel, me and DeMarcus.
Yes, sir. I enjoy doing this with you. Every time we do this video, I feel like I learn a little bit more about how these situations are handled. So I look forward to bringing more of this information to you guys in the future. Mr. Duncan, you have a good one, sir.
You too.